"Daddy, can we bring her home for Christmas?" The little girl's trembling voice cut through the noise of the crowded marketplace like a blade through silence. People hurried past, music played from a distance, vendors shouted their offers, yet everything froze for Mark, the girl's father, the moment he saw who she was pointing at. An obese, elderly widow sat on a low wooden crate near a fruit stall, her hands shaking as she tried to tie together her torn shopping bag. Her clothes were old, her hair unbrushed, her eyes swollen, not from sleep, but from years of quiet crying she never allowed the world to see. Mark felt something heavy settle in his chest. His daughter, Lily, was still staring at the widow with the wide, innocent eyes only a 7-year-old could have, the kind that noticed sadness adults often ignored. And right away, the hook tightened. If you're watching this, don't scroll. This story is about to show you a kind of kindness we don't see anymore. And if it touches your heart even a little, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs hope today. The marketplace was buzzing with Christmas decorations and glittering lights. Children ran holding cotton candy, loudspeakers played carols, and families were rushing around buying gifts. But on that cold December afternoon, despite the sparkle everywhere, the widow, Mrs. Helen Ward, sat like a forgotten shadow in the middle of a bright world. "Daddy, please," Lily tugged at his sleeve again. "She looks so alone. She doesn't even have Christmas food." Mark didn't know how to respond at first. Life had been hard for him too. He was a single father after losing his wife 2 years ago, balancing work, bills, and raising Lily alone. He had only come to the marketplace to buy a small Christmas tree, nothing more. He didn't have room in his life for anything extra, or so he thought. But Lily's eyes were still locked on the struggling widow. Before he knew it, Mark found himself walking toward the woman. "Ma'am, do you need help?" Helen startled, clutching her bag to her chest. "Oh, no, I'm fine," she said quickly, forcing a smile. "I'm used to it." Used to what? Mark didn't ask, but he could see it, the loneliness, the exhaustion, the hunger. Her heavy breathing hinted at health problems, yet she carried her burdens alone. Lily stepped forward shyly. "You can come with us, if you want. We're going home to decorate our tree." The widow blinked, her lips parting. "Sweetheart, that's very kind. But I couldn't. I'm just waiting here because I don't have anywhere else to go today." Those words broke something inside Mark. Without thinking, he said, "Come with us. At least let us get you something warm to eat first." They walked her to a small food stall. The owner, noticing Helen's condition, nodded with sympathy and began preparing hot chicken soup and fresh bread. As the three of them sat together, something shifted in the air. Helen talked little, but when she did, her voice trembled as she told them her story. She had lost her husband 5 years ago, then her only son last winter in a car accident. Since then, she had no family, no close friends, only a small pension barely enough for rent. Most days, she came to the marketplace not to shop, but because watching people reminded her of life. "I'm sorry," she whispered suddenly. "I didn't mean to ruin your day. Please don't feel obligated to care about me." But Lily shook her head firmly. "You're not ruining anything. You're making today better." Mark looked at his daughter, so pure, so compassionate, and silently thanked his late wife for giving their child such a heart. After the meal, they helped Helen gather her things. But as they prepared to say goodbye, Lily turned to her father again. "Daddy, can she spend Christmas with us? Please, even just for today?" Helen froze. No, I can't impose." "You're not imposing," Mark said gently. "It would be our honor." The widow's eyes filled instantly. She covered her mouth as tears streamed down her cheeks, tears of disbelief more than sadness. They brought her home. Their house was small, the furniture old, but it was warm, colorful, full of life. As Lily decorated cookies and hung ornaments, Helen watched quietly, her heart remembering a warmth she thought she had lost forever. At one point, she whispered, almost to herself, "It's been so long, since I felt like part of a family." Mark noticed her hand shaking as she reached to place a tiny star ornament on the tree. So he steadied her hand with his. "You're part of ours today," he said softly. The rest of the evening passed with laughter, music, and stories. Helen smiled more in those few hours than she had in years. She even joined Lily in singing carols, her voice fragile but full of emotion. Later, when it was time for her to leave, she stood at the doorway holding the small Christmas gift Lily had wrapped for her, an ornament shaped like a heart. "This is the best Christmas I've had since my husband died," she said. "Thank you for giving me back something I thought I would never feel again." But then something unexpected happened. Lily grabbed her hand. "Daddy says families can be chosen too. You don't have to be alone anymore." Mark's throat tightened, but he nodded. "If you ever need a place for Christmas, or any day, our door is always open." Helen broke down crying. Real, unfiltered, healing tears. She hugged both of them, softly at first, then tightly, like she was holding onto a lifeline she had been searching for in the darkness. And at that moment, in that little home filled with homemade decorations, second-hand lights, and more love than money, something beautiful happened. A lonely widow found a family. A single father found purpose. And a child reminded the world that kindness still wins. If this story touched your heart, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Because sometimes, one small act of kindness can change someone's entire life. And who knows, you might be the reason someone believes in Christmas again.